We usually start these episodes quite relaxed. That's what I've done with the last 3.
Pretty relaxed.
I feel like we're pretty relaxed.
You know.
But I feel like we need to introduce you properly
Okay.
to our listeners. You're more of a behind-the-scenes character, I'd say, in the community. Then again, we do see you often at Landon Winery on a Friday afternoon.
I do like to be out and about.
But with that being said, I would like to welcome onto Inside the Den, the official McKinney Chupacabras podcast, Sheila Doman of Stuff.io. Now, this room is all of yours. Thank you so much for allowing us to use it. But I think we have to kind of start this off with an introduction from yourself, who you are, and who is Stuff.io.
Well, happy to. Like you said, I am Sheila Doman. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of Stuff.io. And we are your historic downtown McKinney tech company above on the second floor, above all the great stores and wineries and shops here. There are some fun tech and startup companies here. But we have been here for over 3 years now. And what we do is anything media-wise. So anything entertainment media, as far as your books, audiobooks, music, film, we take it and we make it into a anti-piracy technology, piracy-resistant technology, and we put it on the blockchain so people can actually own their digital items. So if you think about it, you don't own anything in your Kindle. You don't own anything on Apple TV that you actually say buy movie. You don't actually own that, right? So this file type allows you to actually own your digital goods, which then gives you all the same rights as if you actually were holding this book, right? I can lend it to you. I could sell it to you. All the fun things. I can rent it out. So everybody becomes their own bookstore, their own movie store, in essence. But we are here really for the creators. We understand that IP protection is not something that a lot of companies care about and take advantage of significantly. And we don't agree with that. We think artists should be protected. They should have their words protected, their art protected, how they want that movie to actually look protected. There's so much out there that people just go, oh, no, I don't agree with that. Let's change it. And they can't. They can just go into the files and change it. And we don't believe in that. We believe the creator creates their art the way, they want the audience to consume it. So that is what we do. About to actually open it up to a full library print store. So we're going to have about 12.5 million books that you can actually, as far as you want to print them, get the email or the ebook version, all that kind of stuff. But our bread and butter is that, what we call a DEA, so a decentralized encrypted asset. So that special file type that we, take those assets and change them into.
There's a lot to unpack there. There's a lot to unpack there, and not just for me, but for our listeners.
Yes.
Now, a friend of mine yesterday, his name is Andrew, he sent me through this idea that we could do. Apparently it's been used already on YouTube and whatnot, when they basically explained this subject matter to a 5-year-old, to a 15-year-old, to a college kid, to like an adult, and then an older person or whatever it is. So can you explain all of that to me like I'm 5 in the most basic terms possible?
Absolutely. So we would take your coloring book.
Okay.
And we would make it to where you could actually give that coloring book to your friend.
Okay.
So right now, that doesn't exist in this world.
Yeah.
And a lot of us don't actually know that we don't own anything.
Well, up until you've just mentioned it there, I've not considered that. Yeah. I've bought series after series of my beloved show Doctor Who on Amazon Prime. And only until you've just mentioned it then, I don't actually own that.
You do
it's
not.
It's not a tangible product.
You do not.
And that's kind of what you guys are now trying to do and operate through and have had great success with.
We have. We've had. We have over, I think it's up to 1,040 assets that we've made into this proprietary file type and put out there to sell. And this also helps people who are indie authors, indie musicians, indie directors, right? So instead of waiting for and hoping for Simon and Schuster or a big publisher to come and buy your book, buy the book rights and put it out there, you can actually self-publish with us. Same with music, you don't have to wait for that label to come and get you. You can self-publish and actually sell singles, sell albums. We can include videos and, almost like the old school way of putting in the CD jackets.
Yeah.
So you can include all types of music and all types of file types into one file, which is, again, that's not a 5-year-old explanation, because a 5-year-old's not going to, but if you're, talking to somebody like, well, can you open a book and there also be a video in there? Right now, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Right. But it is on ours. We can combine all those media types because we created the files. So you might have a video made by the author. Maybe they record the next chapter of book 2. Right, and put it at the end of book 1. All sorts of really cool things. You could put in a music player if somebody's hearing actual music being played in the book, and it's like, why not have it, hit play at that point? So it can really make it the interactive experience that you want.
Now, just before we continue, I may edit this out. I want you to kind of just shuffle a little bit, Sheila, because I'm noticing the camera has you blocked out, and I'd like you to be on camera.
Okay.
For the viewers that are watching at home. No, you're all good. This does go out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but we want people to see this wonderful studio that we've got, and of course, all of our lovely jerseys.
We are geared up here.
We are completely geared up. Now, let's talk a little bit about the involvement that you guys have had with the Chupacabras.
For sure.
Definitely more so in the first year, but this year you've come on board as our kind of official podcast home.
Yes.
How did that relationship actually start out, and why did you guys want to get involved with the team?
It started out by me meeting Hitch and his entire family out in downtown McKinney.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
right?
sounds about right.
Does that track?
Yeah.
And I previously had worked for the Qatar World Cup for 5 years. I was there. And so I actually had a shirt on from the World Cup. It said Adidas in Arabic, right? Because the World Cup was over in Qatar, the last one. And they just kept, in a non-creepy way, they just kind of kept staring at me of like, you could tell they were like, I think that's a World Cup shirt. I think she has, And so finally, Hitch's wife, Jamie, goes, do you like soccer? And I just started laughing. I'm like literally sitting at the bar with my dog by myself, hanging out downtown McKinney. But, I know everybody there, so we were sitting there chatting. And I just kind of started laughing. I was like, how in the world do you know that I like soccer? And they go, well, isn't that a World Cup shirt? And I was like, oh, yeah, it is. And so then I kind of tell them my whole career history. And so their daughter perks up as a woman in the soccer world.
For sure.
And she's like, oh my gosh, I would love to pick your brain about stuff. And I was like, I would love to pick your brain about stuff. And so we just kind of all sat there and chatted for the next 3 hours. But it was funny because I turned to them. I was like, well, why? Do you like soccer? Turns out they own, like 24 teams.
Yeah, they might like soccer.
They might like soccer.
Yeah.
It might be their entire life, right? And so then I just started cracking up. I was like, only in downtown McKinney does this happen, where, you're just sitting by random people and you turn out to be not just soccer fans, but people who actually have, worked and been intrinsically involved in the field. And so we were just like, yeah, this is crazy. And they're like, this is why we moved to McKinney. This is why we love this community. They're like, there's just always somebody interesting sitting next to you. And so, yeah, that's how I met them. And then as, I saw the whole team even get thought about.
Yes.
And then, purchased the rights. Like I was there through that whole process, just as their friend going, hey, this is really neat. I've never seen a soccer team be created before. And so was there, obviously I want to be part of everything. And so we kind of started thinking, well, how can Stuff.io be involved in this? And I was like, well, you guys can sell a lot of things. It's like you can make your own documentaries. You've got behind the scenes. You could have all the player bios. There's so much that can be done that you don't think about as pieces of media that your super fan wants to own, right? I mean, we do this presentation to EPL clubs and big, football clubs around the world and have the same exact conversation. So you're talking to a Juventus or a Barcelona and they're going, well, what can a tech company do for us? And we're like, well, you have 400 million followers on Instagram. Would you like to convert those into actual revenue? And they're like, what? You're blowing our mind. I thought we just posted pictures and it was pretty,
Yes.
And it's like, no, like your actual super fan wants everything about the team. They want all the exclusive stuff, right? And that's really what our tech can do, is it can give you all these exclusive experiences that just streaming, a movie or something like that, or buying a media guide, it can give you so much more of a super fan experience. And so we walk through teams like that all the time, and so we started walking Hitch through all the possibilities. And so that's why we came on board as a sponsor last year, not only to just support our local communities here, but really show the world and show the super fans how it can be done.
You mentioned they're exclusive. Now, nothing's been officially announced, but we like to tease a few things on here. We're working on something, aren't we?
We are.
We're working on a online product of sorts, and I'll allow you to explain it. You are the expert here. But what are we currently in the process of having a look about setting up for our McKinney Chupacabra fans?
Yeah, we're going to give the super fans the option to own a token, if you will. But basically, this is going to be some sort of media that we will figure out that might be some really cool behind the scenes or compilation of videos and pictures and such that the rest of the world isn't going to have. So this will be, by purchase only. Even the covers will be really neat. So that's the part that we're really excited about, because that's one of the aspects of our technology is each one of the covers can be completely different, right? So you can have the same book, but you could have 200 different covers, right? So for us, we're going to have a whole bunch of different chupacabras and, chupacabra working at all the different sponsors, different locations. So, serving a cup of coffee at Habitat and stuff, right? So the art's going to be super fun. And then just owning this special file, special token, if you will, is going to open up a lifetime of discounts and opportunities.
I like that. I like the word lifetime.
It is. It's going to be a lifetime. So, and it's going to be the one-time sale of this. So this is really the, super fan exclusive, OG club of the Chupacabras that, hey, in 2026, we bought this, and 3 years later, now it's getting this discount at this sponsor that wasn't even on at the time. So all these opportunities can just continue on because who owns all your tokens, right? So at any time, you can go, all these accounts are our known fans. And again, that fan could move, if they need to move to Spain or the Netherlands and go, oh, I don't really need a discount token for, downtown McKinney, it can be bought, right? So they can actually transfer it. So that's a beauty. At any time, we can literally drop discount coupons, maybe additional media, maybe some fun videos, pictures behind the scenes, whatever. We can drop whatever we want into the accounts of everybody who owns this token. And that can continue forever and ever, right? So maybe it is a cool coupon. Maybe it is, the media guide for this year. Maybe it's, video with players that you'll never see anywhere else. So it's just going to come with lifetime benefits of owning this.
And that will only continue to grow. On the podcast that we had with our business operations manager, Connor Sides, we discussed kind of the future of the team. Yes, we're only in our second year, but we're looking ahead. We're looking ahead to 5 to 10 years in the future, potential stadium in downtown McKinney. Right. And if that growth continues the way it's projected to, the growth of you guys and the growth with us will go in that direction as well. And I think that gives fans another reason to get involved, because you want to be part of that early few. You mentioned there about potentially, if you move away, you can sell it on, but there's something quite exciting about being there at the start, being number 1, number 2, number 3.
Absolutely. And that's kind of a fun aspect of it, is they are numbered. And it's completely random of what cover you get, what number you get. So it gets into almost that baseball card mentality of everybody's going to pay the same amount to get that token, that pack of cards. But then, do you have a Mickey Mantle rookie card? We don't know, right? So did you get number 000 and like the best cover out there, right? And then, if you want, you can trade them around, right? You can say, hey, I'll give you double what you paid because I want 000. So there is always a secondary fun market to it. But yeah, it's totally, and that's where we kind of get that super fan aspect, because there is that collector's urge and tendencies to it.
Yeah, I don't want to use the word degenerate. I don't think that's the right word at all. But it's that instinct at the back of your mind that just makes you want to do it. We're getting close to the World Cup. Yeah. The World Cup sticker albums come out.
Yes.
I'm fighting every urge in my body to not go out there and buy all of the stickers, just to try and get them all, to try and get, the hurricane or whatever it is. Right. So I think that's really exciting. And I'm very excited to see how this develops over the next couple of months and then hopefully the next couple of years. But Sheila, thank you so much for joining me. We're about to have on for the second half of the show our super fan, who actually ran the half marathon down here in McKinney, Nacho. So we'll see you in a second.
Absolutely.
And we are back. This is part 2 of the Stuff.io podcast. We had Sheila in the first half, and I'm delighted to be joined now by Nacho. Now, before we get into this, as he came into the room, he saw my screensaver on my laptop. Now, I doubt the majority of our listeners at home and those that are watching online have any idea about this beautiful little British science fiction TV show called Doctor Who. But it is my favourite show in the world, and it turns out, Nacho, it is yours as well.
Very much so. I mean, I started watching it, got my kids into watching it, and it was like a whole family affair. I mean, we would watch all the episodes when they came out, and even during the 50th anniversary when they had it in the theaters here, we dressed up, dressed the part. I had a Dalek as one of my kids, Cyberman as the other, and I was one of the doctors.
It's just, and this is unbelievable. And this just goes to show how amazing this McKinney community is, because there's so many little things like that you can connect with people with. And for me, Doctor Who is as important in my life as soccer is. And you said exactly the same as we came into the room, right?
Oh, yes, definitely. It's so important. They go hand in hand.
Exactly. But we are here to talk about soccer. Maybe we'll start a Doctor Who podcast one day. I don't know. Maybe you know what? That might actually be a good idea. Yeah.
It would be.
All right. We'll circle back on that. But yeah, we are here to talk about soccer. And specifically, we're here to talk about McKinney Chupacabras. Now, when we actually first came in to record our first episode with Frank, you were very excited to listen into the podcast
Yes.
as a fan, because I'll call you a super fan because I think that's a good way to call it. But you've been a huge fan of the team since we started last year, and you're obviously still a huge fan of the team now as we're heading into the upcoming season. So what is it about the Chupacabras that got you so excited and wanting to be so involved so quickly?
Right. So the Chupacabras team just won them being here in McKinney. We didn't have any team here. I've gone to see soccer games over at the Toyota Stadium for FC Dallas and always been a big fan of soccer. When I heard there was a soccer team here in McKinney, when they opened up Pro Rel soccer shop, I was like, oh, I need to go in there. Got to meet, Hitch and Jamie, great people, and I was like, oh, I need to get involved. How can I get involved? Then they told me they're starting a soccer team, and they had already a couple of soccer teams out there. It just got me so excited on what the Chupacabras can bring to the city of McKinney, giving different businesses opportunity to get their name out there, being more involved in the company with the team, and then also all the work that you guys have been doing on the team for the players, giving them that other outlet for them to come play at, and just a sense of community around here as well.
Yeah, and the sense of community we've mentioned in every podcast we've recorded so far, and probably will for every podcast to come in the future. But the community is kind of what this club is all about, and I think it's what's made a lot of people kind of fall in love with the team. But you kind of took that community involvement one step further just a few weeks ago. The day before my wedding, actually, you did the McKinney Historic Half Marathon with your Chupacabras gear on. And is it with your luchador mask? Have I got that right?
With my luchador mask on.
Perfect. Well,
sadly, I didn't bring it.
No, but we'll put the photos on the screen that our photographer, Ryan, took on that day. But what made you want to kind of represent the Chupacabras for that half marathon?
I mean, again, it was starting the new season. Now that we have Frank, I say we, like I'm a full part of the team. I am. It's my team.
It is we. It's a collective. We're a community.
Yes.
It's like I say for my team back at home, Nottingham Forest, we won at the weekend, we lost at the weekend. And it's the same here. So please continue.
Okay.
But you can say we.
When we got Frank on the team, I was so excited just knowing his background, what he's bringing to the team. And I'm really pumped and excited for the new season. So I'm like, what can I do to help drive the crowd? You know what? I have the gear already because I'm a season ticket holder, and I have the mask. Anybody sees the mask, they see someone running, they're gonna be cheering. Yeah. And I'm a little bit energetic, so
a little bit,
just a little bit. So when I see that, I'm gonna be out there pumping people up, giving high fives. I may have fallen once, but still, I got up, kept running. So I just wanted to go out there, support the team, and just see if we get more people involved.
Yeah, and you'll be supporting the team this upcoming season. A hugely exciting time to be a Chupacabra fan.
Yes.
What are you most excited for? Are there any games in particular that you've looked at and thought, yeah, that's the game to watch?
Right now, I'm looking forward to the season opener because it's so close.
Yeah.
So that's the game I'm looking forward to. I haven't been able to see all your videos of the practices and everything. I'm looking forward to that first game because I want to see what Frank brings to the team, how the team's going to build on last season.
Yeah. And kind of how do you feel the season could potentially go? You're a fan, so I feel like I can ask this. You're not an owner, you're not a player. But kind of what are your hopes for the team this season? Do you want playoffs, title? What is it?
I mean, we always want playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be great. Second season, second time us out there winning a title. Great. That's what I want.
Well, let's see if Frank Yallop can deliver on that. Nacho, thank you so much for joining me on this Stuff.io podcast special. Have you got any messages for maybe family at home that are watching on? I'll give you the opportunity.
Message for family at home. We're going to be there every season, every game, so be ready. We have our gear already.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much again. Thank you, Sheila, of course, who was with us in the first half. Make sure to follow along to the podcast, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And of course, head on over and give Stuff.io a follow. Their links will be in the description. But from us both here in the Stuff.io studios, it's a thank you very much and
Thank
goodbye.
you. Have a good one.
Hey!